Hey everybody, you ever go get in your car and you turn the key and it sounds like it's trying to turn on, but it just won't start? Well, it's things. You're not getting spark, air, or gas. In this situation though, we already know that we're getting spark and we are getting air. So the last thing we have to worry about is gas. So I've chased it all the way down to a fuel pump so you don't have to. But what does that mean? Well, I'm gonna show you. So in your Audi A6 back here, this one that has the back seat, you're gonna find your fuel pumps under the back seat. So the first thing you need to do is rip the back seat up and just give it a kind of a tug and it'll come up. Now, our back seat's kind of crappy, so I'm just going to throw it on the floor. But I advise you, if you have a nice back seat, to place it somewhere nice or put it on a piece of cardboard or something so that you don't have to deal with it. Got some electrical sensors under our seat here. We need to disengage. So if your seat has sensors under it, seatbelt, then you're gonna have to just disengage these two and two on the other side, and this is the seatbelt engage system. Now, if you can see in there, there's a black spot right here and a black spot right there, and those are your high fuel pumps. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew the top plates of both sides. It's a Phillips head screw. There's 3 of them, and I'm going to take you right in and show you what it looks like. Then I'm going to take the lids off and pull the units out so that you can do this on your own and save money. So don't worry about all this wiring harness down here. Your car might not have this if you don't have the seatbelt sensors. But this is the top plate I'm talking about. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3. And then come on this side and do 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take those 2 top plates off and see what's under here. Okay, after you guys get the lid off of this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to find like some kind of punch tool, but I like this, but a little smaller one. I don't know where my smaller one is. And I get a mallet. And in each one of these cuts, when I take this off, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Each one of these cuts, you're gonna go in between here. You're gonna put this in between, and you're gonna tap it, you know? So you're gonna hit it, and then go to the next one and hit it. I like to skip and keep going because it goes in a number that never hits the same one. If you just keep hitting one at one side, like over here, you're eventually gonna warp this and it's not gonna move correctly. Once you hit it, then you can pull the ring off here. We'll pull the sensor out and pull the ring off. And then you're ready to go on this side to remove the piece here. And then this is one pump. Oh, hard to get this thing out. Okay. Well, I'm gonna fight with this for a second and I'm gonna pull it out and show you what it looks like. All right, so we ran into a little problem. I usually don't show problems, but I've never seen one like this. So this fuel pump has 2 lines on it right here. You see the black line and the tan line? They actually go to the other fuel pump as well. So it's like you get from both sides, basically, you know, since there's a hump in the middle where the drive shaft goes through. So I'm gonna have to cut those 2 lines, and remember, don't use any electrical things. You don't want to spark this over here. So I'm gonna cut those 2 lines with a little handsaw and then get this out. So I got this fuel level sensor out of this side. So on the driver's side, there's another fuel level sensor and float. So this one must go to the regular tank, and the other one in the trunk must go to the overflow tank. So then you have 2, but I'm gonna look it up just to make sure. So this is the float, the gasket. Of course, we cut the pigtail off to go with it. I had to cut the cable, the plastic lines down here that transfer from this to the other one. So, and it's connected and you can't get it out. So you have to replace those anyway. So if you have to take this out, you have to take the other one out and you should replace the line in between. So let's go get the actual fuel pump out of the passenger side. So now we're on the fuel pump side and I did the same thing. I popped the ring loose. Then there's 2 worm clips here. Now normally I thought they would be an 8, but they're a 1/4 inch. So someone's probably changed this fuel pump. So I just opened them up so I could slide them back. Get them off of the lines here. And we're gonna pop the sensor off. If you're changing yours, you're gonna keep the connection. But what do? We go back a little bit, like down to here, maybe down a little farther, and we're gonna keep this because it's made nice. It's got this little rubber thing that sits under the seat, and take it with our fuel pump because this is a rolling car. So now that I got those off, I'm just gonna get a pair of channel locks like this and then work this around really easy to try to get these out because I don't want to break these top pieces that are plastic that the hose goes on. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. Then I'm going to pull this out and show you what the pump looks like. All right, so before we do anything, I want to show you this mess in here. I've tried to film this 4 times and it's so cramped. I just can't do it. So this piece is on top like this. And you have to disconnect these 2 lines from this top piece to get this plate out. So those 2 lines look like this. And you could pull them out a little bit and then squeeze this thing and back them off one side and then back off the other side so that this top piece comes out. So then I'm going to try to get the fuel pump out from underneath. So this fuel pump on this Audi is a big job. You can't skip anything. You don't want to break any of these lines because then you have to go buy this stuff all over again, you know? So let's get some more work done. This is my 5th take trying to cram myself in here to show you this fuel pump. If this doesn't work, this video is done. So anyway, this piece is on top. When you take this lid off, this piece is going to be down there first. You have to disconnect these 2 pieces off the fuel line, like if you would the outside fuel line or the fuel filter. They're kind of the same. And those pieces look like that black piece right there. And slide one out to one side and one out to the other side. Then once you get this up, you can get the top connection out. Then I would take this black connection off because it goes down underneath. Probably goes all the way to the other side, so we can just pull that out. It doesn't get hung up on anything. And then we have to get the pump out from down there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess with this, pull the pump out, and then show you what the pump itself looks like down in there. All right, so let's look and see what we got here. So this is the top. We had to take the connection out of the sensor here and these 2 lines off. Then when we pulled it up, we had to disconnect the 2 lines from here so that we could pull that out. And then we get the assembly with the, you see the pump right here in the middle, and there's the silver pump with the filter on the bottom. So this is the complete unit. Sometimes you can buy a complete unit like this. It costs a lot more. Sometimes you could just buy the pump. So that's the fuel pump in a nutshell. If you can get the pump cheaper, just that little silver box, and slide that out the bottom and replace that and put the wiring back in, it's probably the cheapest way to go. But sometimes when these cars are 20 years old, the gasoline saturates the plastic so much that those lines will break, or part of that sending unit will break, and you're going to have to replace that whole unit anyway. But it's still better for you to try to do it yourself first and save hundreds of dollars than to send it. I mean, if you try to do this first and you can't figure it out, well, you've done half the work for the mechanic already. They should not charge you a full labor, especially if you have the part just to finish the job. So hopefully this builds your confidence, saves you a little bit of money. I'm trying to make a whole playlist for you Audi viewers out there. And We got another playlist coming pretty soon when we're building this twin turbo up, the 2.7s for you A6 and the B5S4 people. So let's go Team Audi, rock on, and we'll see you in the next video.